Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are listening to Bras, Panties and Sports. It's NFL Week 14, and the action couldn't be hotter. I mean, it is hot. I mean, it is so hot that it might even unthaw Chicago with that 28 below wind chill factor. I'm Spitface. Please welcome our host, the First Lady of Sports Talk, Cheryl Smith. How's it going in warm Florida, Miss First Lady?
All right, well, it's going. Good morning, everybody, and good morning to our guest, Christian. All right, but you know what? It's a little bit chilly this morning in Florida, so, I mean, we must be getting some of that Chicago air. It must have went down south.
Oh, wow. So what is 65?
Oh, 65. That's funny. No, it's only 77.
Oh, okay. Now we do have a special guest with us out of H-Town, Mr. Christian. Welcome to Bras, Panties and Sports. How you been this morning?
Man, thank you for having me. It is a joy. I'm doing good, but like the First Lady said, it is cold in Texas, too. It's 45 out here. We used to having it 70 plus. So right now I'm just on the couch. I'm cuddled up, watching highlights of CD Lamb.
No, highlights of CD Lamb. Okay, that might warm your blood up. All right, this week on Shout Out, we have performances. CD, breaking ankles. This week on Shout Out, we have performances from Pharaoh 808 Mafia. Will they find their shining star or get the cold feel of the mute button? First Lady, we're ready. What you saying?
Each week, we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdies known as the Bengals are happily flapping their wings after beating the beasts of the AFC North, the Baltimore Ravens, who wish they could fly far, far away from a subpar start to the season. Did this game say more about the Bengals or the Ravens? Is it time for the punters to stop penciling in the Ravens as the winner of the AFC North? If the Ravens make the playoffs, do they have a real chance to make any noise, or would they be dead playoff team walking? George Foreman, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, both rest in peace, Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? I mean, to me, this game said more about the Bengals because it was the return of Joe Burrow. I mean, he had been out injured with a little toe injury, and he came back, and he just picked up where things left off. I mean, he threw for 261 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. The offense had a total of 382 total yards. And, you know, they held that ball for 38.46 seconds. I mean, that's a lot when you think about the time control of their offense. And, you know, with Burrows, this team is completely different. I mean, they have a dominant offense when Burrows is in the game. Now, what was surprisingly, their defense was playing aggressive. They forced 5 turnovers. I mean, this defense really from last year has shown a significant improvement under Al Golden, who is their defensive coordinator. I mean, you always remember it was the Bengals defense was horrible every year that Joe Burrow's been on this team. But this defense, I mean, especially against the Ravens, they really came through. And, you know, when they force a lot of turnovers, multiple turnovers, they win games. So it's definitely a thing that the Bengals need to continue to do. You know, they got a slim chance of doing something, going to the playoffs, but it's a very, very slim chance. But, you know, what can we say? I mean, but the Ravens, I mean, you know, the Ravens, it was time. They had been really doing well, and they just got hit with the return of Joe Burrows. I think it was very emotional for the Bengals, and I think that's why they played a lot harder. But, is it time to pencil the Ravens as the winner of the AFC North? Well, like I said, the Ravens have been on a winning streak, but, those 5 turnovers really had the Ravens not doing well. Lamar didn't look good at all. Lamar had several turnovers, and he did not have any touchdowns. Didn't have any touchdowns in that game. So that was even since the times on their winning streak. I think it was since October 5th. That's the first time that they allow over 20 points. So that defense really needs to step up again. It really hasn't. But the offense has been, in that particular game, the offense has been struggling. The offense looked flat. They like I said, they were on a 5-game winning streak, but they just looked very flat. They looked like they weren't prepared for the Bengals. I mean, maybe they didn't expect Joe Burrows to come back, and maybe that was some of the issues. But that performance by them was not inspiring whatsoever. The question is, can the Ravens make the playoffs and do some real damage and make some noise there? The issue is, once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen when you get in the playoffs. I mean, especially if a team is coming in hot. Now, even though they lost this game, if they can make some noise going into the playoffs, they do have a chance. Like I said, they had won 5 consecutive games previous to Thanksgiving game. So we'll see. I still think the Ravens, once they get in, I still think they can make some noise. But it's a matter of, Lamar, where Lamar stands and how well he's going to perform. So that's the key to the Ravens and that defense also. All right, Mr. Christian, what do you think about this situation?
Well, my opinion on the situation is I do feel like Joe Burrow should be in competition for playoffs, but right now the Baltimore Ravens, in my perspective, are the most favored to win the AFC North, but following right behind them are the Steelers, and then after the Steelers is Cincinnati. But I feel like the Ravens just had, in a sense, they wasn't prepared for the Bengals, and they didn't take them as serious, and they just seen them as an easy win. And Lamar Jackson is also coming off of an injury as well. So I just feel as if Baltimore still have a chance of making it in the playoffs. And I love Lamar Jackson. It's his time to get a ring.
What you said, time for him to get a ring, huh? That
time
ring
for
is
Lamar to get
eluded
a ring. You got to know, I love Lamar Jackson. He's really a top-tier quarterback athlete. I remember when he came out and he was in Louisville. He came out 2017. That was my first year in college. And Lamar Jackson was a monster. He just don't have, like, the other attributes around him to make him and get him at a Super Bowl or a fighting chance in the playoffs. Because I genuinely feel as if Lamar Jackson is 80% of the whole offense on the Ravens. So he just can't do it alone. So they need to make a couple trades, get a couple free agents, and build around Lamar Jackson, because I'll give him like 2 more years, and then he's going to transfer somewhere else or go somewhere else and go to a team that has a little better platform, like LeBron James did. And then he's going to get a ring and then retire like 3 years after that.
Okay.
So I give his timeline like 5 more years because he's already been in the NFL 8 years.
All right, Christian. Well, I think he has a team around him, and just I don't know why they just underperform in the playoffs is where they have their issues. But anyway, all right, Spitface, what's your take on this situation regarding the game between the Ravens and the Bengals?
Well, I'm just going to sit up there and say it like this. Now, I'm watching the Ravens. I'm watching the Steelers. I'm watching the AFC North. And I'm sitting up there going, I think we need to have an investigation. We need to find out what the hell that division been smoking on, because they have just fell off the cliff. And whoever come out of the AFC North is dead team walking in the playoffs. They did. We can turn the AMC, put on the Walking Dead, and you're gonna see whoever win the AFC North looking like a zombie moving on down the road. Now, I think that the true team in the AFC North is Cincinnati Bengals. Now, if any quarterback in that division is scratching his head, it's got to be Joe Burrow. It's got to be Joe Burrow. I know Lamar got talent. He got skills. He can run. He can throw. And he can do this. But the guy who if the game is on the line and you need to make something happen and everybody else is falling down, it's Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I don't know what happened to the Ravens at the beginning of the season, and the Steelers are getting ready to do their swan dive move, and they may just squeak out enough games to win the AFC North, but the Panties say the Ravens will be the team. Lamar is in the same situation as Josh Allen, and that situation is no matter what components they put around them, they couldn't beat the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the real deal. The real deal was that the Kansas City Chiefs was running roughshod over the AFC, period. So nobody doing nothing. Now, the mix has changed. It has changed. That is right. It's a dawn of a new day. And Kansas City ain't Kansas City of last year or the year before that. Even Patrick Elfman Mahomes is having some issues this season. And I remind folks before they, get ready to throw him into the trash heap, Tom Brady and the Patriots did not win a Super Bowl every year. They did not get to the Super Bowl every year. But they sure got a lot of them when they did, except for when they played the New York Giants. The only team that the Patriots couldn't beat is the New York Giants and that Manning guy. But the more I look at it, and somebody tell me what the hell happened to Derrick Henry. I mean, last year he was stumbling, bumbling, rumbling on down, dragging people, across the goal line. And this year it looks like, somebody, took the juice out of it. And, and of course, good running back got to have a good offensive line. What is up? So, with Derrick Henry, Lamar, and the weapons they have, they're finally starting to come around. But to me, they're looking more like their team walking in the playoffs. They'll be a one and done. Unless they, well, you know what? They will get that first home game. And if that first home game is a team like the Texans, they'll win that. the Texans are like the Miami Dolphins. And, you know, if the temperature drop below 50, the chance of them winning goes out the window. That's what I'm saying, per se.
Okay. Well, yeah. Derrick Henry has not been running well, but you know what? It seems like that's the same thing. Problems with the Eagles, Saquon Barkley. It seemed like, you know, both of them had fantastic years last year, and they really came down to earth this year. But the problem really, it begins with and ends with Lamar Jackson. I mean, he has to make that offense work. And they still, you know, I kind of disagree with you, Kristen. He has players around him. You got Zay Flowers. I mean, like you said, Spitface, you got Henry. So I don't know if it's more of the offensive coordinator. I think sometimes they are very conservative. But, you know, like I said, he has some weapons. They just need to utilize their weapons a lot better than what they've done. But we'll see. I still think they're a scary team to play in the playoffs. So we'll see how they do, if they even make it to the playoffs. All right, Spitface, over to you.
And they fans. All right. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my tears and putting suckers to fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion, overpowering over the competition. I'm towered. Wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that all get sliced and diced. Competition, paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out, huh? Mama said knock you out, huh? We're talking about the knockout punch to the Cowboys after losing to the Lions on Thursday Night Football. With this loss, is it all over but the shouting for the Cowboys? Is it time for Dan Campbell to become a mellow fellow and stop going for it on fourth down and allow the punt team to help his defense? Which team has a better chance of being the ultimate spoiler the rest of the season? Leroy Satchel Page, Walter Buck Lennon, and my man, Jay School Papa Bell, are asking what you saying. I watched that Cowboys game and that Cowboys-Lions game. And the first half, they let things get away from them. And the Cowboys are actually a great second half team. You know, it's like they have to, look, we're going to give you a few points, and then they get in gear that second half and start pouring points on. And this time, it ended up short. And Mr. Chris's main man, C.D. Lamb, got Hoyt. Now that did not help them, that he got Hoyt at the wrong time. Now, that did not help them at all. But he had already got 130 yards. He doing his time, but it does not help you. And fortunately for the Lions, they did not get into those fourth down situations where Dan Campbell would, we're going to go for it. And now your defense is, having a battle, consistently. So, fortunately for the Lions, it did not end up that way. I do say that when you between the two of them, which one will be the ultimate spoiler? Well, it's probably going to be Detroit, the Lions, because, it's not too little too late for them to make the playoffs. And the upcoming games against the Bears, the Packers, and the rest of their schedule, they got good odds of winning in their final games. Now, by the same token, so do the Cowboys. The boys, their tough opponent was the Lions. And after that, I think they're playing the Giants, the Commanders, who are in a weakened position. The Cowboys could run the table against teams that don't have a chance of making it to the playoffs. So the Lions are the ultimate spoiler. because they could spoil the day for Green Bay and Detroit and the Bears. So, but going forward, have to really look at the team and say, that last year they got wiped out in the playoffs. This year they may not make the playoffs. There's a shot. They got a shot, and where they can make it, but it's going to be tight. And one of the things that will help CeeDee Lamb is when Jerry Jones, because everything with the Cowboys goes back to Jerry Jones, and when Jerry Jones stops tweaking around and letting the people who know how to run the team, the Cowboys will be better off. But that ain't going to happen for a few years. So, CD, I'm glad you got paid. Keep playing, brother. And things will work out your way. But it may not be while Jerry is around. And on that note, my Lion fans, I know y'all glad y'all playing the Dome. I know y'all, because it was cold outside last night up in Detroit. So I know y'all glad y'all played the Dome. And I know the Cowboys was glad you was in the Dome, too. So they didn't have to deal with that cold-ass weather. Mr. Christian,
yes,
what you saying about that Thursday night game?
Man, Cowboys are Cowboys, man. It's America's team. But did I expect the Cowboys and win against the Lions? No, sir. No, sir. I do feel like the Cowboys will make it in the playoffs. Right now, they're only 6-6. If they beat the Vikings, the Commanders, and the Giants, I really feel like they'll have a good spot in the playoffs. CD, I feel like he did what's best, because I use CD like he's a golden ticket on that team. But yeah, I truly feel like they're able to make it in a playoffs. I don't see them going past a first round unless it's easy win.
All right, so you don't think that I do say that the Eagles are suspect.
I feel like the Eagles had a good year last year. It was like when LA won a Super Bowl, or when Atlanta won it. It was just a fluke win. Like, I just think they had a good season, but the Chiefs for sure had a bad game, and they wasn't playing up on par. Because did you see how Patrick Mahomes played in 2024 Super Bowl or 2025? I feel like it was just a fluke win.
Hey, you know what they say? When you're hot, you're hot.
That is true.
And they got hot.
When you're having motion, it just keep going for sure. But after the season stopped, that motion for sure slowed down. The Eagles were supposed to come in this season and destroy anybody in their path. They're playing averagely right now, for sure, in my eyes.
Yeah. I put it like this. The tush push may not be a winning philosophy. First Lady, what you saying?
Well, I mean, the Cowboys are not mathematically eliminated or out of it, but you might as well stick a fork in them because they are pretty much done. They needed to win that game. That was the biggest game for them to sneak into the playoffs because, as you indicated already, their remaining schedule is very, very easy, and those games are all winnable. But they needed to win the game against the Lions, and they didn't. And with them losing that game against the Lions, they pretty much got about an 8% chance of getting into the playoffs. And their most probable access to the playoff would be they would need to win the NFC East. That's their only hope because they're not going to be a wild card because there's too many teams in the conference they have much better records than the Cowboys. The Cowboys are 6-1, and that tie game obviously is going to come back and bite them. But their only chance of winning is the Eagles floundering at the end. That's their chance of winning because by then, because especially since they've already beaten the Eagles, they went on head-to-head competition, which is usually one of the tiebreakers, but that tie game they had is just a problem right now. But, they needed to win this game. As far as Dan Campbell being a mellow fella and needed, those fourth down calls, I mean, the good thing, he like you said, he didn't have to call too many in the game or call any in the game. But it's been a lot of debate about how aggressive his fourth down strategy has been. I mean, basically, he's been very successful with them. It's part of their identity for them to go for, what they call him. Used to call the other guy that used to be in charge of the Commanders and the Panther, Riverboat Ron. Well, we got Riverboat Dan Campbell. He's like rolling the dice when they cover those fourth down. But, he's just, being aggressive. But his play calling was very good in that game with against the Cowboys. Previously, I think they lost the previous game and it wasn't, but they got it together in this game. Now, who has the chance to be the ultimate spoiler? It's definitely the Lions. It is most definitely the Lions because, as we indicated, the Cowboys, they really are not playing anybody who's even in competition. I mean, the only team that they're going to play is the Chargers that's in competition. But for the Lions, I mean, they got games against the Rams, the Steelers, the Bears. I mean, they got it against the Vikings, but the Vikings are going nowhere fast, so they're not even in it. But the Rams, Steelers, and Bears are all definitely in the mix for a playoff, and the Lions have a chance to be a spoiler and have a chance to solidify their chance to get into the playoffs. But, they needed to win that game. And so, it's just when, the Cowboys, as being Americans team, they, again, disappoint you. I know I can't wait to see what Stephen A. Smith got to say about it, even though he picked the Cowboys to win this game. But you know how he feels about that black cat running around the field for them. But the Cowboys, it's done. Poor Jerry Jones, another year that he's getting older, and he's not going to be able to see his Cowboys win a championship. So a Super Bowl, it's just very out of his reach right now. So anyway, that's all I'm saying.
To break. All right, First Lady, you have the final word. Please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, we have a performance from Pharaoh 808 Mafia on Shout Out Part 1.
Welcome back. The music flows in from around the globe. To get a shout out from the panel, First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Pharaoh 808 Mafia.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. On the first part of Shout Out, we are featuring music from Pharaoh 808 Mafia and their hit album, I Am Pharaoh 808 Mafia. They say Pharaoh, 808 Mafia, is the founder of trap music in Atlanta, Georgia, when he produced Black Gangster by Cool Breeze, along with Organized Noise Productions. He also is the father of the famous hip-hop producer, 808 Mafia. I am Pharaoh, 808 Mafia. All right, DJ. He said trap music. That trap music is a lot from New Orleans, so I got to hear the Atlanta-style trap music. Let's hear Never Been.
Test. Fuck nigga, I ain't never been. A bitch nigga, I ain't never been. Scared nigga, I ain't never been. Wanna round them down and whatever then. Been had my stripes, got nothing to prove. No record, no evidence. 357 madam. Go shell stuff in the residence. How we pose picking president. We don't like neither candidate. Been in some fucked up predicaments. Ration food out in small increments. Try to uchi my temperament. A audible new plan I implement. I see the one, see the innocent. My neighborhood is equivalent.
No stripes, nothing to prove. Never carried a tool. Keep her wet, call it swimming pool. Mind power, Joanne Childs, didn't raise no fool. Mind my business, not the news. Yeah, my nigga, y'all gave me some shoes. Gave them to my friends too. With no clue, say what you mean what you say. That's why we be in a safer place. The haters gon' fuck with you a long way. Why they ain't fuck with you all the way? Your gangsta ass partner got shot. The other one caught a case. The media in the way. The children outside want some money and not to play. As time go on, adults got something to say. With a op weekend, when the waves come on in, when them sacks come on in, wipe off your weight bench. We can do it again. We can do it again. Blend.
Fuck nigga, I ain't never been. A bitch nigga, I ain't never been. Scared nigga, I ain't never been. Wanna round them down and whatever then. Been had my stripes, got nothing to prove. No record, no evidence. 357 madam. Go shell stuff in the residence. How we pose picking president. We don't like neither candidate. Been in some fucked up predicaments. Ration food out in small increments. Try to uchi my temperament. A audible new plan I implement. I see the one, see the innocent. My neighborhood is equivalent.
They really be saying my name. I'm in the game. Niggas be knowing the lane. I be the nigga that's out in the streets. These niggas be thinking that they can maintain. Bitch, give me the dough. You never know. Cause I be pimping a hoe. Go get it faster. Bitch, I am your master. Hey, follow instructions. Hey, this how we function. Yay, 1,000 a day. Bitch, you got it okay? A nigga like me, I make them pay. She bad, she goes and gets it. She be showing love in the club. Real pimp niggas know these hoes, they be showing love. I was in Vegas, stepping into town in Gators. Pimping on 4 hoes, 2 high rises. All of my bitches together, no compromises.
Fuck nigga, I ain't never been. A bitch nigga, I ain't never been. Scared nigga, I ain't never been. Wanna round them down and whatever then. Been had my stripes, got nothing to prove. No record, no evidence. 357 madam. Go shell stuff in the residence. How we pose picking president. We don't like neither candidate. Been in some fucked up predicaments. Ration food out in small increments. Try to uchi my temperament. A audible new plan I implement. I see the one, see the innocent. My neighborhood is equivalent. No.
All right, that was Pharaoh 808 Mafia. Okay. I'm going to start it off. Now, you know, Spitface, I don't like the use of the N-word, and he used the B-word, the bitches and all that, hoes, whatever. However, it is trap music. That is what trap music is all about. So it basically the genre he's singing or rapping to is what he was true to it. So I'm going to shout it out reluctantly, but I'm going to shout it out because he stuck to the trap music. So he did his thing, 808 Mafia, Pharaoh 808 Mafia. All right, Christian, are you going to hit the mute button or are you shouting out the song?
I'm going to mute that hoe. I ain't going to tell you. I'm not listening. No. Like, Look, I'm gonna say it is a song, but it's bad, like for sure in my eyes, unless it was made like way earlier in life, like 15 years ago. But if it was made like in 2025, bro, you need to go ahead and elevate your craft. Like you rapping like you in 2010, like for sure. Like you need to elevate, find a different flow, find different beats, and find a different voice. Because what you're doing right now, that you need to go ahead and make a New Year's resolution to do something different.
All right, Christian. Okay, making me look bad here now. All right, Spitface, you hitting the mute button, or are you going to shout the song out?
Coming from a hip place is not my particular genre. But I was gonna give it a shout out because it wasn't in my genre, and the brother has some skill, but Christian was right on with the point that that it could stand an upgrade.
All right.
I'll put it like that.
Okay, so you gave it a half-hearted one. You gave a half-hearted shout out. Kristen changed her mind a little bit on there, but like I said, I mean, that's what trap music to me is all about anyway. Like I said, I don't like the words or whatever they use, but that is the type of words they use in trap music. But anyway, okay, we'll see on shout out part 2. We'll have another performance from Mr. Pharaoh 808 Mafia. But is that the sound of our favorite underwater friend? It's time for
they call him Flipper, faster than lightning. No one you see is smarter than he. And we know Flipper lives in a world full of wonder, lying there under the sea.
Time for Flip It, while hosts defend the view and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. The grumblings about Mike Tomlin are starting to rear their heads. Is it time for the Steelers to consider trading Money Mike? Defend. Mike is a great coach, but it's time for a change in Pittsburgh. I look at this situation with Mike, and it's like he is one of the all-time head coaches, and he is going to the Hall of Fame. That is what is going to happen. He's going to the Hall of Fame. The only problem is that that's the problem. It's like, okay, you're not a mediocre coach. You're a winning coach. And you win just enough so that we can never get a good draft pick. We're always in the playoffs or in contention, so we always get these middle of the road first round draft picks. Now, that's not a bad thing necessarily, but there's something that's happening on that team, that culture, where they just can't get over the hump. Now, again, Mike Tomlin, his record speaks for itself. You don't want to just, fire Mike and say, well, making it to the playoffs, not making any noise, not going anywhere. You know, we've had this for several years. We got to change something. You know, because you got half of the Steeler fans that they'd be out there with pitchforks, you know, ready to, throw management overboard. You know, they do something like that. But then you got the other half of the Pittsburgh fans who go, hey, we need a fresh take on it. So, there's a point where you have to go, there's an old saying, and that old saying is insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And no slight to Mike. You know, I like Mike. You know, I think he's a great coach, but there's got to be some kind of change. And you can flip coordinators and, you can flip personnel, but there's a point where the man at the top, you got to make a move. You got to make a move. So he's a great coach, but it's time for a change in Pittsburgh. Mr. Christian defends. Time for a coaching change in the Steel City.
Man, I'm going to say the Steelers just re-signed his contract to keep him through 2027, and he is the most paid NFL coach, one of them. So he just signed a 1-year contract extension for $50 million. I think he's good where he's at. I think he's good where he is. Maybe he do need and change up a little coaching, but right now he's bringing in $50 million a year from the Steelers. So fans love him. Pittsburgh, I do too. So why change it? Hey, if it ain't broke, don't bend it. Do you feel me, Spit?
Okay. All right. Well, let me jump in here. Mike Tomlin, yes, he is a potential Hall of Fame coach. He's done everything right. However, they just have not won a playoff game since January 15, 2017. Think about that. January, that's a long time. So, I mean, that's the last time they won a playoff game. So they have been, like Spitface says, they've been living in the world of mediocrity. And like he said, the team is going nowhere because they're right there in the middle of everything, but they're not great enough to win everything. And like you said, you can't get a high draft pick to get a quarterback that they desperately need. And so it's time really for Mike Tomlin to go. One of the things that he held his hat to was the defense. Their defense has been horrible this year, and the offense continues to struggle. This Steelers team need a reset. They need a new coach to bring fresh ideas and a new voice in that locker room. They just need a new voice. Granted, the Steelers, they don't fire their coaches. That's one thing the Steelers don't do. They do not fire their coaches. So they will have to come to a parting of ways. But I think it's the best thing to do because the fans are calling for him to go. And it just needs to be done, really. I mean, he's a great coach. And, he can do Andy Reid, It's the same similar situation. Andy Reid was just years with the Eagles. They were going to the playoffs, not winning anything, and eventually he left, came to the Chiefs, and guess what? He did well, and the Eagles did well. So I think it's time for that same type of situation to happen. It's time. The fans are frustrated. The Steelers, that's the fans in Pittsburgh. Steeler Nation is frustrated around the world. I mean, even former players are frustrated, like longtime Steelers players like Ben Roethlisberger, James Harrison. They have publicly came out against Mike Tomlin, stating that they need a coaching change. And when you get to those type of situations, it's going to happen. And if Tomlin and them do not make it to the playoffs, I mean, they got to make it to the playoffs first, and they have a chance where they may not make it to the playoffs. So, I mean, if they don't make it to the playoffs, they will come to an agreement that he's going to leave. That's all.
It's like another Jerry Jones situation.
All right. Okay, this is Flip It, where we flip the script and defend the opposing view. So we're going to flip it. Trading a winning coach because he wins with what he has is a no-no. You know, I look at the situation with Coach Tomlin and the Steelers, and Coach Tomlin is working with what he has. It's not his fault that he keeps winning, and it's more management's fault for not making the deals that they need to make. And one of those deals is that there are times where you need to trade up to get the player that you need for the future. And I think that the Steelers as an organization, they missed big on Shedeur Sanders. They missed big. They could have got Shedeur Sanders on the cheap and had a future quarterback right there without having to spend a first-round pick. But whatever was going on in the NFL world to let Shedeur Sanders drop and he drops to where the Cleveland Browns take him, somebody should be slapping the GM and the management of the Steelers upside their little beanie head. They let now, you know, and that's what Tomlin is dealing with. He's dealing with management that won't make a risk to trade up and get and get a quarterback, and a management that you can get one on the cheap, you know, grab Shedeur, and they didn't do it. So now, what is Tomlin faced with? Aaron Rodgers, old man Rodgers. That's what he got. And living off a reputation of the past, and I'm not knocking Aaron, but he ain't the Aaron Rodgers of Green Bay. You got the old beat up Aaron Rodgers, and, it's like going out and getting the old beat up Brett Favre, who actually did pretty good those last few years before, after he got traded twice, But don't blame Mike Tomlin. Don't be upset with Mike Tomlin. The man is working with what he got, and it's a miracle that he's been able to have that team competitive and winning. And, hey, they do have that defense, which kind of played lackluster this season, but them boys know that they have to get their acts together for the next season. So, no. Don't be trading away a winning coach. Mr. Christian, the Thin, trading Tomlin is like the Mavs trading Luka Doncic to the Lakers. A bad move.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bad move for sure. It's like you said, like he's not calling every shot. He's really just a puppet. And if you know how a league works, he has somebody over him. So with the people that he does receive and have are able to get him in a playoffs, they're just not able to get him at that next level. So I feel like he's doing everything that he can do. And once again, if you don't know, he's just the head coach. He's not the offense coordinator, defense coordinator, safeties coach. He don't call any plays. He just is really like a face of it. So he's getting all of a backlash. It's like he's a quarterback. When a team loses a game, everybody puts it on a quarterback. When a deep pass is caught in the end zone, people put that on a corner or safety and not knowing who man it actually was. So right now, the Steelers are in a bad, not even in a bad situation, just not in that winning mood since 2017. So I just feel like the people above him need to allow him to pick better people. And he was right. Why would they let Shedeur Sanders go that far down if they needed a quarterback? I just thought about that. Cleveland Brown got a Heisman contender as a quarterback, and he went like 6th or 7th or something round. So that's crazy. I just thought about that.
All right. First Lady, like they need. No, go ahead, Christian.
I was going to say, like, Christian. And that was like, that was a good realization of, because what he is doing at Cleveland, what he has done has been straight positive. Like he's a building star, and I let him fall.
All right. Okay, First Lady, they need to trade for a top draft pick to get a quarterback to go with that expensive defense and keep Tomlin.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Steelers, they don't fire their head coaches. And there's been a lot of talk about trading Mike Tomlin, and there's been eight coaches that have been traded in the history of the NFL. And let me give you some of those names because it's kind of interesting. Don Shula, Bill Parcells, Mike Holmgren, Bill Belichick went from the Patriots to the Jets, and John Gruden, Herm Edwards, Bruce Arians, and Sean Payton. What's in common with all of those? I would say all of them, with the exception of probably Herm Edwards, are Hall of Fame coaches. So, so there's been a lot of rumors out training Mike Tomlin. But, Tomlin has a no-trade clause in his contract, so he don't have to go nowhere. But they need to get a quarterback. That's been the Steelers' Achilles heel. They just cannot get a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger. First of all, they went too long with Ben Roethlisberger. They stretched him all the way out there. He was a totem. He couldn't even move. That was the problem with Ben Roethlisberger. But you know what? Like you said, there was Shedeur Sanders. They let him slip in the draft, and Omar Khan is the Steelers general manager. You really don't hear too much about him, but you have to also understand Mike Tomlin had some say in who they could draft to. So don't you believe that he didn't have any say in that. So Shedeur Sanders, obviously they didn't feel he was the type of quarterback they needed. Now, there's some high-ceiling quarterbacks that really are still out there that they could trade for. Anthony Richardson on the Colts. I mean, he hasn't really done much, but he may still have a high ceiling. Mac Jones has done quite well with San Francisco when Purdy was out, and maybe he can be a quarterback that they can look to. And another quarterback I think they could look into, Jameis Winston. What about Jameis Winston? He's only 31 years old. I think there's still a lot of game left in Jameis Winston. Look at Jacoby Brissett. Look what he's been doing with the Cardinals. So, you have a lot of quarterbacks out there. I think, to me, it's better than the backup they have, Mason Rudolph. We know what Mason Rudolph is, and whoever Will Howard is. I'm not sure if he's even gotten onto the field. But anyway, the bottom line is they got to do some significant discussions and come up with a package to get their franchise quarterback, whether they're going to trade up in the draft, put a package together to get a quarterback. That is what's been lacking from this team, and it's not Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is a damn good coach, and they need to continue to keep Mike Tomlin, and they just need to get a quarterback so he can perform his job as a coach. You just can't when you got mediocre quarterbacks. They had mediocre quarterbacks. I don't care what you say about Justin Fields. We see what he's doing with the Jets. Not much. You know, Mason Rudolph, Aaron Rodgers. He's too old. He's past his time. So the problem with the Steelers is the fact that they do not have a quarterback. It is not a Mike Tomlin problem. Period. That's it.
All right. We've heard the defense and the defense. First Lady, over to you for more Flip It.
The Arizona Cardinals turned to journeyman Jacoby Brissett as their quarterback. Is it time to say Kyler Murray is a bust? Spitface defend. Kyler Murray is not a bust.
Y'all talking about my man Kyler Murray, treating him like he a stepchild quarterback. You know, I think the problem with Kyler Murray isn't a bust. The Arizona Cardinals are a bust. They are. They, you know, in a league where I'll put it like this: in a league where they hire a black head coach and they're ready to oust that coach, midway into the season because of their record, and they have a coach of a different persuasion. They give him a couple of years to show that he don't have what it takes to win, and then let's go blame Kyler Murray, his skills. You know, they have been a sucky-poo organization, and to try to put it on that Kyler Murray got skills, but he don't have the kind of skills that can compensate for the organization and the coaching that they've had during his career there. Now, Jacoby, I'll just say a more seasoned veteran than Kyler is having a good run. But do you really think that he's going to be the future of the Arizona Cardinals? That he's going to be he's a good in-between man. He's a good guy, a good quarterback to have when you bring in the real quarterback. But if the organization don't change, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. But Kyler Murray is not a bust.
All right. All right. Yeah, you're saying it's the organization. It's not Kyler Murray. All right, Christian, defend. Kyler Murray got skills. He's not a bust.
Kyler Murray, well, I know him too. He followed me on Instagram. We used to be in training together. Is he a bust? No. That boy is super athletic. He's just short, but in a sense, he's athletic. He's smart. He is short, but athletic, smart. A team player, a leader. He's everything that a quarterback needs and be minus height. So it's just his team. Once again, like if you put him on, in a sense, the Ravens, the Texans, even though C.J. Stroud, everybody loves C.J. If you put him on any team with a little bit, you got an NFL team. I mean, a Super Bowl team right there. So I feel like he's a long longevity quarterback as well, for sure. I see him 20 plus in the league.
All right, Christian. Well, Kyler definitely is not a bust. He's definitely not a bust. He has flashes of elite talent. I mean, this quarterback won Rookie of the Year in 2019. He was the Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's made back-to-back Pro Bowls from 2021. So, he's had early successes in his career, but unfortunately he has been hampered by injuries. And as you can say, he's been hampered by the downfall of the Cardinals organization. They haven't really done well and surrounded him around elite players. So I think the thing is, Kyler is, he has good arm strength. He's very good with playmaking ability. He makes those spectacular throws. He knows how to scramble. He can stay in the pocket. So he has everything that a quarterback is supposed to have. And like you said, Chris, the only problem is he's short. But other than that, Kyler Murray can put him in the category of that second tier group of quarterbacks. The elite ones is Mahomes, Lamar, Stafford, Allen. Those are the elite. Kyler definitely is in that second tier of elite quarterbacks. So he's not a bust. I mean, the bust is the organization, the Cardinals. They've been the bust, and we think Kyler can do better if he was on another team. So he's definitely not a bust. Anyway, all right, we are going to flip this. That's what we do here. We flip it. All right, Spitface. Defense. Kyler Murray is a bust.
All right. Well, First Lady, it's one of the things that we look. Okay. All right. Kyler Murray, he isn't a total bust, but he is a bust. And one of the things about Kyler is that now. They say Chris admits his height, he's short. I go, he ain't that damn short. It ain't like he's 5'3" out there, And if anything, I kind of compare him to Drew Brees. And Drew Brees did fairly well at his height. The Kyler Murray to me is Justin Fields, only he got talent. That's the thing. It's like you said, there's the flashes of being an elite quarterback, but the main skill, and this is what makes him, I'll say a bust. And I'm going to say that I'm going to throw in a caveat, not a permanent bust, is being on the field. And he has not had enough seasons where he completed the season without injury to really get the mojo going. So in that sense, that makes him a bust for Arizona, but not specifically as a player. He's a bust for Arizona. He's not the quarterback that took him to the next level. That did not happen. And a lot of that didn't happen because of the coaching and the organization itself. So he's a combination bust, but not on his personal skill level. The boy got skills. He can ball. But between his health and being on the Arizona Cardinals and not being able to take them to the next level, in those terms, he's a bust. Now, it is to be seen if he made a move to a team like the Steelers, how things could turn out. Now, the other thing I go is Tyler, they got used to the sunny skies down in Arizona. How well will he play in the frozen tundra of Pittsburgh? And The answer is he'll probably play very well. But right now, he's a bust for that organization. But not as on his talent, just how everything has went for his career at the Cardinals. So that's what makes him a bust.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
No skills, not because of skills, but because of the organization. All right, Spitface. Now, Christian, defend. Kyler Murray has skills, but a bust he be.
Okay. So, I feel like he for sure has skills, but he's not an NFL quarterback. First off, I'm going to start where we are all focused on his height. I done seen him in real life. I done stood by him. And y'all know I'm 6'2". Kyler Murray is for sure 5'9". With no cleats on, he's 5'9". He is fast, but he's not that fast. So therefore, he's basically a little boy playing against grown men out there, like playing against 6'4", 320, all muscle. He's gonna get ate up, and it shows because in 2019 he got injured with a thumb injury. He had to have surgery. Then in 2020, hamstring and shoulder. Then 2021, his ankle. Then 2022, his ACL tore. Then 2023, his foot and his knee had issues with he had to have surgery. Then in 2024, he had that same knee issue. Then this last season in 2025, his foot is acting up and he's about to have surgery again. So he's getting injured every year since he's been in the NFL. So he cannot complete a full season. It's a bust. You wasted all that money on somebody who can't even complete the season. And in this season so far, he's been sacked 16 times so far. So like he's easy and get to because he's so close on the ground. So he's a bust. Like he was good in high school, great in college. In the NFL, he's a dud. He's not doing nothing. Like he is like I would say he is in that first like wave of quarterbacks when you think of a quarterback, but it's just because of his high school career and because he's a black quarterback who's a little fast and he just stands out. But we're going off of his name and his fame. We're not going off of his game. He's a dud. It's like he's just a Johnny Manziel who's finessing a system in the NFL just a little better. That's what Kyler Murray is.
All right, Christian. Okay. Now, we talked about his height. Christian, I'm going to go with you because you had the eye test because he's listed as 5'10". He and Bryce Young are the shortest quarterbacks in the current National Football League. Currently, they are the short. They're not the shortest ever in history. I think I know somebody was 5'7". But anyway, yeah, that is one of his problems. Yeah, but that is one of his problems, being short. Another problem of Kyler Murray is the fact that he has a tendency not to do well when he's under pressure. If he can stay in the pocket when nobody's rushing him. But when he's rushed, he just has a tendency to break down the play, and he starts that scrambling. But it really halts their offense a lot because he has a tendency to run and wing it a lot of times. And that's something that has been an issue with him. His inconsistency, he just doesn't have that lack of progress that he's been doing, to get to that next level of quarterback. And also the injuries. As you eloquently said, you gave a list of his injuries. That's a problem for him. I mean, if you can't be on the field, you're a bust. You can't do well, okay? You have to be on the field. And another thing that's happened is they got rid of Kingsbury as the coach. He was a good offensive-minded coach, and right now I think the offense is not clicking with his new coordinator. So, there's been a lot of issues for Kyler Murray in Arizona. He is started off well, but lately he's been really, the last several years, because of the injuries and his inconsistency. And another thing, too, his lack of preparation. That's another thing, and his commitment. They just don't think he's as committed as he needs to be a top-notch quarterback. And that's, as you remember, they had stated, in the games, he wasn't reviewing film or anything like that. It's not a quick study. So all of this plays a part in, unfortunately, Kyler Murray being a bust, regardless of the fact he does have skills, but he definitely is a bust. All right, Spitface, please take us to break.
May I say one unpopular opinion?
Yes.
I feel like J.J. Watt was a bust, too. He just had one good season. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
J.J. Watt, that's just my opinion. He had one good season, and then he had a crazy backstory, and they hyped him up. But that's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got paid, right? And the Steelers are not getting nothing out of J.J. Watt. No, that's T.J.
No, remember, T.J. is on the field.
I'm sorry, T.J.'s with the Steelers. J.J.'s retired. He's gone.
Yes, yeah. But when he was here and he had all of that hype, he just had one good year. They gave this man like $100,000 or something. No, $100 million or something. It was a huge contract. I'm gonna look it up. But after that, he was just hurt. He never was on the field, but he was always in commercials everywhere. His face was everywhere. But he was a bust. He had one good year. Like Houston didn't win no Super Bowl. We didn't go crazy in the playoffs. He just had a good season. Then we still haven't won a Super Bowl. He was injury prone, and then he retired. I think he came back and he still didn't do nothing. He was a bust. He was all talk.
All right. Well, maybe we'll do a show where we talk about all the busts. We'll put J.J. Watt in there. All right, Spitface. Please take us to break.
Okay, on the other side of the break, we have another performance from Pharaoh, 808 Mafia. Maybe you'll get a shout-out from Kristen, but that is to be seen. Okay, please keep your ears glued to those speakers.
Welcome back. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout-out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
All right, on the second part of shout-out, we are featuring another track from Pharaoh, 808 Mafia, and we want to see if we'll be able to move Mr. Christian off of the mute button. Because he already got his little finger. I see you, Chris. I see your little finger hovering all over that mute button. So Pharaoh 808 got some work to do. Let's hear I Am Pharaoh 808 Mafia. DJ Rowe.
Niggas don't know what's the design. In the past, all the things that my spirit did. I was the one to create the Egyptian pyramids. Everywhere I go, these white men was fearing it. Book of the dead. Look at my head. They calling me red. I slip for the feds. They calling me cap. They know it's my trap and we taking over. They know in this world that I am the man and we are much colder. Military mind. They military blind. I see them in the flesh. I know what's on their mind. Look at all this ice. Taking over life. You know it gets colder. And you can lose your life. I am the one. Eye of the Pharaoh. Third out of knowledge. Eye of the Pharaoh. Every move a king make, they waiting to do some hating. Ain't nowhere that we losing, cause I am not mistaken. You got your money right. These diamonds shining like a light. And then I vanish out of sight. We about to show them all the game. You know that it ain't the same. You know I rep West Coast. You know I turn them into ghosts. Niggas wanna see me shine. Bitches wanna act blind. You know I represent the South. You know I put it in their mouth. You know we about to get them up. You know I'm about to fuck you up. You know I bang blood, nigga. You know you got to see a killer. You know it's from the West Coast. West Coast where we do the most. Roll up the weed in the low. You know we about to get dope. 808, it is the mob. Everywhere we go. Like pharaohs, we do our job. Popping my collar, taking off. Dropping some shit, walking the club. Nigga be flipping and sticking and stacking. I'm macking, you know that I am the captain. I am that nigga named Cap, straight from the trap. We be the niggas that's hot. Roll up and pull up on blocks. Them niggas mad, we are the niggas they not.
All right, that was I Am Pharaoh and First Lady, Mr. Christian. I think I gotta hit that mute button. I think I gotta hit that mute button. I think it was well produced mismatch. You know, but I'm gonna have to hit the mute button. Christian, are your fingers on that mute button, or are you giving it a shout out?
I mean, man, Mr. Pharaoh, I know you're from the West Coast. You represent a South, but you're making music out of Atlanta, trap music. So I don't know how I'm feeling, man. I got to mute it because you are confusing me, Mr. Pharaoh. Hey, spit. Did this man say he built every pyramid? He built every pyramid. I'm good.
You know, I hate to say that, but I had heard I Am Pharaoh one more time.
He said it 87 times in the song.
Yeah. I'm hitting the mute button on this one, too. And I think it's a consensus. That one was not good at all. Definitely not. Who'd you say? You had to hear I Am Pharaoh, right? I am Pharaoh.
I had to hear that way too many times. But I will say this. It was well produced.
It was.
We got to hear it.
Look, right. Your quality of your songs, the quality of the sound sounds good. Whoever's mixing and mastering it is doing their best.
Yeah, wait. You know, it's sort of like I almost want to say it's like Mike Tomlin. He's doing his best with what he got. Okay, that is the end of Shout Out. You can check out Pharaoh 808 Mafia on the Old Grumpy Radio Network. If you'd like to be heard or have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to talent@oldgrumpyradio.com. First lady, over to you.
All right, it's time for the picks. We're in NFL Week 14. Unfortunately, you know, with the holiday and everything, the production assistants, they couldn't get the picks, the previous picks together. So, I mean, this is, you know, we've been doing well getting those picks, so I have to give them a little break. All right, so let's get to these games. Winners and losers, they're worth 1 million points. All right, Steelers versus the Ravens. Wow. They're playing in Baltimore. I'm going to have to go with the Ravens. I'm going to give it the Ravens. We'll get DizzieMac's picks. Spitface, who do you have?
I hate this game. I do. But I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to roll with the Ravens.
All right. Christian, who do you have?
I third that motion. I say Ravens. All
right. And the batter of the barrel, the Titans, the battle of the barrel, the bottom feeders, I guess. Titans versus the Browns. Okay. Spitface, who do you have?
I'm rolling with Shador.
Christian?
I'm seconding that motion. Shador for sure.
Shador, okay. Well, he didn't play well last week. But, you know, the Browns' defense is pretty good. So, you know, I'm going to take a flyer. I'm going to say the Titans. All right. Big game, Colts versus the Jaguars. All right. Christian, who you rolling with?
The Colts.
Okay, you got the Colts.
For sure, Indianapolis.
Okay. Well, no, they're playing in Jacksonville. Oh, I didn't know if that's where you thought they was playing. No, they're playing in Jacksonville. All right, Spitface, who do you have?
I'm going to roll with the Jaguars.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Jaguars, too. Colts have been kind of stumbling a little bit lately. Daniel Jones, I think, has come back down to earth. So I'm going to roll with the Jaguars. They're home. All right, and that's a big game for them. Commanders versus the Vikings. This is another game that really doesn't matter because the Commanders are not in the contention for anything. Neither is the Vikings. All right, I'm going to go, Jaden Daniel, Jaden might be able to play. He's been practicing. I'm going to go with the Commanders. Spitface, who do you have?
I'm rolling with the Commanders.
Christian?
I'm gonna say the Vikings were upset them.
You're with the Vikings. Well, they're playing at home, but I have a feeling with the Commanders. If Jaden comes back, I'm gonna go with the Commanders too. All right, Dolphins versus the Jets. Well, you know, people here in Miami seem to think that the Dolphins have a chance to make it to the playoffs, which I don't understand why. But anyway, Spitface, who do you have?
I certainly don't have the Dolphins making it to the playoffs. Not
They
by,
seem to think they can run the table.
I'm going to one of them drug boats, make it in the Florida. Is the temperature going to be below 50 degrees?
Yeah,
I'm gonna roll with the Jets because the Dolphins have they don't win in cold weather. So I'm gonna take a fire on the Jets.
All right, Kristen, who do you have?
Well, since it's a rivalry game and the Dolphins have been playing better than the Jets this year, I'm going with Miami for sure, but I do not think they're making it in the playoffs at all.
We know they're not going to make it, but they seem to think they're playing well. Okay, I'm going to roll with the Jets. Yeah, because Tua cannot play in cold weather, even though he has beaten the Jets in New York, and the Dolphins have beaten the Jets the last several times. But anyway, I think right now the Jets have won 2 games in a row, or 1 game. I can't remember. I know they won last week. So anyway, I'm going to roll with the Jets. They're in New York. Right. Bengals versus the Bills. This is a big game right here. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to go with the Bengals. Spitface, who do you have?
I'm rolling with Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamar Chase.
Kristen, who do you have?
Bro, Josh Allen finna kick they ass. Y'all tripping. What?
Okay.
The Bills are 8-4. The Bengals are 4. Bro, yeah, man. We're gonna make a Zoom call and watch that game.
Yeah, but they didn't have Bengals. They didn't have Joe Burrow. So Joe Burrow came back. So that's why that's why Burrow has beaten Allen and Mahomes. So anyway, you're going to roll with the Bills. All right. You got it as a beat down. All right. Bears versus Packers. Oh my, oh my, oh my. This is a big game too. They got a lot of big games. Wow. Let me see who. Kristen, who do you have?
Oh, Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm. They've been on a heater. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And it's where is it at? Like, is it in Chicago?
It's in Green Bay. It's in Lambeau Field. It's in Green Bay.
Oh, I changed my answer. Green Bay finna come to us.
You changing your mind? You going with the Packers?
Yes, because it's in Green Bay. Both of them have a great season right now. Only 3 games lost, and Green Bay did have a tie, but they've been destroying it at home. So they're in this a rivalry game. Definitely, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, you
Green
switch it to the Packers. I'm going with the Packers also. Spitface, who you going with?
Well, I'm rolling with Caleb Williams and those
right.
cardiac kid Bears.
All right, cardiac kid Bears. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to Packers, I said. Okay, so Texans versus the Chiefs. Well, I'll go. Look, I've been losing with the Chiefs, but I'm going to roll with the Chiefs this week again. They got to win. If they do not win, they will be. It's a struggle for them to think that they can get in the playoff, but they definitely won't get in the playoff if they don't win this game. All right, Spitface, who do you have?
Patrick Mahomes at home. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes at home, and the Texans have yet to show that they can win in a cold weather town, and it's going to be cold up in KC this weekend. So as much as I'm rooting for my boys, ain't happening. I'll go with the Chiefs.
All right. Who do you have, Christian?
I'm so Houston. Yeah. Who do you think? I'm from Houston. Texas.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I said the Chiefs. Okay. Eagles versus the Chargers. That's the Monday night game. That's going to be worth 3 million points. Wow. Spitface, who do you have?
Oh, man. I'm rolling with the Chargers.
Kristen, who do you have?
I'm going to say the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Eagles. The Chargers, I'm going to roll with the Eagles on this one. Because the Eagles lost. Right, the Eagles lost Friday. So they need to win. They need to win, so I'm going to roll with the Eagles. All right, so we're going to over, under, and push. These are worth 1 million points. Patrick Holmes, 3 passing touchdowns. I am going to go with, who's playing? He's playing the Texans. I'm going to go with under. Spitface, what do you have?
Will the Chiefs be able to run against the Texans? I'm gonna go push. I'm gonna go push.
You're gonna go push. So you believe that he'll have 3 passing touchdowns?
Yep.
Okay. All right, Kristen. 3 passing touchdowns. Over, under, or push?
Under.
Yeah. Texans got a good defense, so
yes.
I definitely,
sure.
their defense is good. All right, Rams. Let me see, what is it? Matt Stafford, 3 passing touchdowns. I don't know who they're playing this week. Christian, who do you have? What do you have? Over, under, or push? 3. Matt Stafford, 3 passing touchdowns.
I'll push it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with push also. Spitface?
Well, the Rams are playing the Cardinals. And,
okay, that's going to be a high scoring game.
So I'm going to say under.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Bo Nix, 3 pass. I said push. All right. Okay. Bo Nix, 3 passing touchdowns. Spitface, what do you have?
They're playing the Raiders, and I could see him going over. I'm going to go over.
All right. Now I'm going to go with push. Christian?
Didn't Bo Nix play the Commanders last week?
The Commanders they beat up on?
and the Commanders are trash. And he didn't throw 3 touchdowns against them. He threw 1. So I'm gonna say under for sure.
Oh, okay. You got a point there. Yeah, because their passing offense is one of the worst in the league. And he's doing okay. All right, we'll see. C.J. Stroud. Because I say push, Spitface got over and you got under. All right, C.J. Stroud, 2 passing touchdowns. I'm going to say push, Spitface.
I'm going under.
Going under. And Christian?
I'm going to go under as well, just due to who they are playing. They're playing the Chiefs, and due to where they are playing. Yeah, I'm gonna go under. It's going to be a running game.
Okay, then we're running game. I'm going to do push. All right, Caleb Williams, 3 passing touchdowns. Spitface.
Okay, Caleb. I'm going to go push with Caleb Williams.
Christian?
I'm going to say no. I'm gonna say under. They're playing Green Bay this week.
Yeah.
Green Bay for sure.
Yeah, I'm going with under. I'm definitely going with under. Josh Allen, 1 rushing touchdown. I'll say push, Spitface.
I'm going to say under.
I'm pushing. I'm pushing.
Okay.
That's Josh Allen.
Yeah, he usually gets a running touch.
You going for the tush push.
Josh Allen is look. Josh Allen is 6'5" and runs a 4.4 as a quarterback, a white quarterback. Josh Allen is hard, man. He's gonna get that touchdown.
Okay. All right. Lastly, Derrick Henry, 60 rushing yards. Christian?
Who are they playing this week?
They're playing the Bills, right? No,
they're playing the Ravens.
Who?
Steelers.
Oh, the Steelers. Steelers, right. The Steelers.
Under Steelers defense is incredible, and Derrick Henry has been slacking lately.
Did you say the Steelers defense is incredible? The Steelers defense has not been great this year, but I'm going to go with over. What do you have, Spitface?
Let's see, 60 rushing yards. I'm going to go under.
Okay, you're going under. All right, we'll see how we do. All right, Spitface, what is your top story to watch this week?
All right, my top story to watch is not a sports story. It's 50 Cent and his documentary on Netflix about Sean Combs. He has some footage. Ooh, baby.
I kind of fell asleep on it. I have to go back and look at it, but I did fall asleep on it the first time. But I'm gonna definitely check it out again because I know there's a lot of controversy about this, and the 50 Cent supposedly on how they got some of that footage. Sean Combs says it was stolen. But anyway, Christian, what is your top story to watch this week?
Honestly, it won't be a sports story either. I'm currently writing a script for a show that I'm starting, and I start shooting on Saturday. So tomorrow I start shooting. So that's what I'm prepping for this week, my first episode that I'm shooting.
Well, are you going to be able to tell us the name of the show?
It's called Shops Open. It's called Shops Open, and to give a gist about it, it's about a Houston native, but he's been here since the 1800s, and he just reads people and vibes, and it's a lot of them, and they're against our government. So stay tuned. Shops Open.
All right.
Shops Open. Our first episode will drop on YouTube on January 1st, 2026.
All right. Okay, well, my top story to watch
looking forward
is
to that
about...
one.
Huh?
No, I said we'll be looking out for it.
Absolutely. My top story to watch is Giannis Antetokounmpo, agent, is in discussion with the Milwaukee Bucks about his future, even though they have denied it. Doc Rivers has said Giannis has never asked to be traded, but there's always this talk. That's what the NBA insiders are reporting. And so I'm going to be looking out this week for the teams that will be calling the Bucks. There's going to be a lot of leaks about what teams are calling the Bucks and what type of trade requests that are being put out there. And, you know, my Knicks, they had a chance to get Giannis over the summer, supposedly, but we'll see what they do. So that's what I'm going to be watching. And I want to address Viola Ford Fletcher. She was the last survivor of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre in Oklahoma. She passed away at age 111 years old. She was a young child during that, and she's been, you know, prior to her passing, she had fought years and years of justice for that deadly attack by the white mob on the thriving black community. They used to call it the Black Wall Street. And she was there as a child. She was the last survivor of that Tulsa Race Massacre. So rest in peace, Viola Ford Fletcher. Check out our current and previous episodes at BrasPantiesandSports.com. This is Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, and our guest, Mr. Christian. We appreciate you being on the show. And Spitface, you have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. Before we go, Christian, do you have any social media that you'd like people to follow you on? If you want to tell people, especially since you got a TV show that you're getting ready to drop on YouTube.
Okay, so I do have an Instagram and a TikTok account. Right now, my Instagram name is big_brazy baby, and my TikTok name is FYP Brazy. And on Instagram, I have 10K. On TikTok, I have 9K. So you will know it's me. And First Lady and Spit, thank you for having me. It's been my pleasure.
All right. Well, you're definitely more than welcome to join us again. All right. We'll see you guys next week.